You can make $90,000 a year and feel completely broke. And you can make the exact same $90,000 and feel financially unstoppable. Same paycheck, same job, same economy, completely different life. Imagine two people, Marcus and Derek. Same company, same age, same $90,000 salary. On paper, they're identical. Same office, same Friday direct deposit. Then 1 week, both of them get hit with the exact same problem. Their cars break down. Same repair shop, same diagnosis, same $1,400 bill. Marcus pays it immediately and forgets about it by dinner. Derek stares at the estimate, opens his banking app, and starts calculating which bill he can delay until next month. Same income, same expense, completely different reality. So what's the difference? It's not intelligence. It's not discipline. And it's definitely not income. It's a number almost nobody talks about: net worth. I'm Alex, and welcome back to Alex Makes Sense. Today we're talking about the 3 net worth levels that completely change how life feels. Not how life looks on Instagram, not how successful you appear to strangers. How life actually feels when an emergency shows up, when your boss becomes unreasonable, or when you start thinking about your future. Because every major increase in net worth removes a different kind of financial fear. And once you understand these levels, you'll stop obsessing over income and start paying attention to what really matters. Let's start with level 1. Level 1 is a net worth of $100,000. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. For some people, that number sounds tiny. For others, it sounds impossible. But this is the most important milestone in the entire journey. Charlie Munger once said that the first $100,000 is the hardest. And he was absolutely right. Because during the climb to your first $100,000, almost all the progress comes from you. You're doing the saving, you're making the sacrifices, you're skipping purchases, you're investing consistently. The market isn't doing much heavy lifting yet. Let's say you're investing $10,000 per year at an average return of 7%. Getting from $0 to $100,000 can take nearly 8 years. 8 years of patience. 8 years of consistency. 8 years of progress that often feels painfully slow. But something changes once you hit 6 figures. At $100,000 invested, a 7% return generates roughly $7,000 per year. Your money finally starts contributing. For the first time, your investments are helping you build wealth instead of simply waiting for deposits. And while the math is impressive, the psychological benefit is even bigger. Because level 1 isn't really about getting rich. It's about escaping financial panic. A surprise expense no longer feels like a disaster. Your water heater breaks. Your car needs repairs. These situations still hurt, but they don't destroy your month. You stop checking your bank account before every purchase. You stop feeling anxiety every time an unexpected bill arrives. You stop carrying that constant background stress that so many people mistake for normal life. That's what $100,000 really buys. Not luxury, not status, peace of mind. And that brings us to level 2, somewhere between $500,000 and $1 million. This is where your money starts acting like an employee. At $500,000 invested, a 7% return generates roughly $35,000 per year. Think about that. Your portfolio is producing income similar to a full-time job, except it never takes vacations, it never asks for a raise, and it never complains about Mondays. At $1 million invested, that annual return jumps to roughly $70,000. That's more than many people earn working 40 hours a week. This is where something interesting happens psychologically. You stop feeling trapped. Imagine your boss asks you to work weekends again. A few years ago, you would have agreed immediately because you needed the paycheck. Now you pause, not because you're quitting, but because you realize you could. That feeling changes everything. You negotiate differently. You take more calculated risks. You become less afraid of losing a job because your entire future doesn't depend on one employer anymore. That's the true value of level 2, options. But there's a danger here too. Lifestyle inflation. The more money people make, the more money they tend to spend. The bigger house, the luxury SUV, the endless upgrades. And before long, every raise disappears into a larger lifestyle. This is why some households earning $250,000 a year still feel broke. Their income increased, but their freedom didn't. Every extra dollar was spent before it had a chance to compound. Level 2 isn't about earning more. It's about keeping enough of what you earn so your money can work alongside you. Now let's talk about level 3, the level most people dream about. A net worth between $2.5 million and $5 million. This is where money stops buying convenience and starts buying time. Financial planners use something called the 4% rule. The idea is simple. A diversified portfolio can support annual withdrawals of roughly 4% for decades. That means a $2.5 million portfolio can generate around $100,000 per year. A $5 million portfolio can generate roughly $200,000 without requiring a traditional job. This is the point where work becomes optional. Not because you hate work, because you finally have a choice. You can work if you want to, you can walk away if you don't. You own your schedule, you own your mornings, you own your time. That's the real secret of level 3. The happiest people at this level aren't obsessed with luxury. They're obsessed with freedom. Freedom to spend time with family, freedom to travel, freedom to pursue projects they actually care about. Because time is the one thing money can never replace once it's gone. So let's zoom out for a second. Notice the pattern. Level 1 removes the fear of emergencies. Level 2 removes the fear of being trapped. Level 3 removes the fear of running out of time. Every level isn't about adding more stuff. It's about removing more fear. And that's why net worth matters far more than most people realize. Income tells you how much money flows through your life. Net worth tells you how much freedom stays behind. Remember Marcus and Derek? They earn the exact same salary, but they don't live the same life. One crossed a financial threshold that the other hasn't reached yet. That's it. That's the entire difference. Not intelligence, not luck, not talent, just a different position on the net worth ladder. And here's the encouraging part. The hardest stage is always the first one, the climb to $100,000, the boring part, the slow part, the part where it feels like nothing is happening. That's where most people quit, right before compounding starts doing the heavy lifting. But if you stay consistent long enough, the math eventually starts working for you instead of against you. You don't need a 6-figure raise. You don't need a lucky stock pick. You just need to keep moving toward the next level. Because 10 years from now, your money will either be working for you or you'll still be working around the lack of it. And that decision is being made today through the small choices nobody notices, the automatic investments, the money you don't spend, the habits you repeat every month. So here's my question for you. Not what level you wish you were at. What level are you currently working toward? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to Alex Makes Sense. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.